excellent off a bye. But Sean Payton has oddly been looking forward to this game since he lost to the Bills in the playoffs. Odds-wise, check in on the playoff predictor. This New York Times.
These aren't odds. This is the New York Times own algorithm, which I do like. But
if they lost this game, 64% to make the playoffs. If they lost. Brew, would you be worried if the Chiefs lost?
Yeah, I would for the first time this season, probably in the first time in the Mahomes era, think there's actually a possibility they miss the playoffs. Like, I would think they're going to make it still. I wouldn't come on here and say, oh, they're going to miss. But I would think there's a possibility. And I get it. Their schedule isn't that hard going forward. But if they lose this game coming off the bye, when we know Andy Reid is great off the bye, coming off a loss to the Bills where, you know, that was a big game, and Denver has talked all that noise, at least their coach, Sean Payton. It's a division game. You know if you lose this, it's going to be, you probably won't be able to win the division. Like, with all of that and against an offense that has been anemic with Bo Nix, if they lose this game, Coach, it just would tell me there's no way I can write them in as victor wins over Indianapolis or the Chargers. Now, I think the Chargers, it's hard for me to see them sweeping the Chiefs, but still, you'd have to say the Chargers,
they play
Denver again. So I just think not so much from a mathematical standpoint at 5-5, but from the standpoint of, oh, they're not a lock to win these games against these good teams that they still have left on the schedule. So that would really give me some pause. And again, think they really might miss the playoffs. I wouldn't predict it, but it's possible.
Yeah, this would be a big problem if they lost because they are coming off the bye. Andy does have the success rate that he has. The team has had the week to recover physically. You have a chance as a coaching staff to go back and look at things you did well, things you did poorly, be able to implement some of those things. So you've got all of those advantages going for you. And then you're playing a team where, you know, Nick thinks that they don't even have a quarterback. So
no, I definitely know they have a quarterback. He's just very, very bad.
So you've got the greatest quarterback of all time next to Tom Brady.
Top two, yeah.
Versus a quarterback that Nick feels should probably not be a quarterback. So now you've got that element too. But Denver, you got to give Denver a ton of respect for what they've done. What's this, a 7-game win streak now? So they're on this. They've got the long winning streak. They're finding ways to win, similar to the way the Chiefs found ways to win. It's not always pretty, but they're finding ways to win. And I think Kansas City, no one going into the season would have thought they'd be 5-5 through 10 games. I didn't think that. I'm sure, Nick, you didn't think that either. And I'm sure everybody in that locker room also didn't think that. So some of those insecurities are gonna creep up if you're sitting at 5-5 through 10 games. Now, as long as you still have Patrick Mahomes, anything's possible. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah. Luckily, it's a moot point because there is no chance they lose this football game. I am not guaranteeing a Mahomes masterclass. I am not guaranteeing a blowout. But what I am telling you is, this team, I know Colin is racing to say the dynasty is over. We'll see. I mean, I would like to go at least 1 year without them winning the AFC and playing in the Super Bowl before we announce the dynasty is being over. But
I think that's fair.
But we'll see. They're not losing this football game. And I am not going to spend a lot of time worried about how I'll feel if they lose this football game, because I kind of feel like I know how I'm going to feel during this football game, which is the Kansas City Chiefs off a bye with a methodical opening drive to take the lead, the Kansas City Chiefs defense forcing Bo Nix into a quick 3-and-out or 6-and-out, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 10-0 Chiefs, and the Broncos, I know they against
so they like it.
Well, in theory that's
Fire up
in
the band.
theory that's how they like it. But the teams that they have executed those comebacks against are, except for Philly, bad teams that find ways to lose. And I would see in that scenario the Broncos doing something they desperately do not want to do, which is put the game in Bo Nix's hands. And that, to me, is the recipe for multiple turnovers and the recipe for the Broncos offense to get totally out of sorts. Because while the undertones of what you guys were saying is even if they lose, when the playoffs start, if they're in it, they are as dangerous as anybody. The Chiefs have earned that respect. I agree with that. I also think the Chiefs recognize it's better to win the division than not, and they recognize that losing this game, right now at 5-4, they control their own destiny for the division. They are a game behind the Chargers, 2 games behind Denver. They play the Chargers once, they play Denver twice. If they handle their business, they will win the division. And you lose this game, and that's out the window. And now all of a sudden you're relying on other circumstances. So I just don't think this team loses this game.
Can I ask you a question, Coach? Bo Nix on the block field goal game, 22 for 30, 215, 2 touchdowns. Who has the advantage the second time around because we're throwing out Week 18 last year? Is it Spags getting another look at Bo Nix, or is it Bo Nix like, okay, let me get another look at Spags' defense?
Yeah, I'd give the edge to Spags just because of the years of experience and the things that he can take away from a game like that, where Bo Nix is going to have to be fed stuff from Sean Payton as opposed to Bo Nix being able to really sit back and diagnose exactly how he wants to attack it.
And those numbers, and then go, Brew, those passing numbers looked good for him. They scored 14 points. You know, to me, that was an instance of the Chiefs correctly saying, we are going to sell out to stop the run and put the game in Bo Nix's hands, and it resulted in the Broncos. They could have scored 17. They could have won. But, it wasn't an explosive offensive game.
If the Chiefs do lose and say they still make the playoffs, it will, I feel like the AFC will be more wide open than it's been
100%
in the Mahomes since Brady left the AFC. It'll feel like,
and all those division winners will be bummed out with Buffalo, Kansas City, and Baltimore. If those guys end up at the bottom,
you will go into the playoffs really feeling like
it's anybody's.
Can I just real quick? People did feel that way 2 years ago, when the Chiefs were on the road for the first time, when they had
beat
all the drops, when they went Miami at Buffalo at Baltimore. That was a year that people thought it was wide open. When Baltimore, with Baltimore,
I felt like you had 3. You still had 3 kind of great teams in the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens.
Okay, that's correct. You're saying this would be 7 teams.
I mean, Bills haven't looked good.
Okay,
Baltimore hasn't looked great. It could be anybody's
a half dozen teams could be.
Time now for the hottest segment in all of sports. It's Upset Alert, with some controversy around the standings.
There's no controversy.
A look at the controversial standings.
I don't really like the way they keep the standings.
KW, you just got major points. Coach and Greg got nothing.
And I'm still basically being doubled up.
No, but you're just 2 good weeks away. Brew, you're struggling.
Now, I have not given up hope.
Atlanta really screwed you last week. They had every opportunity to win that game.
That's Atlanta. They come close every week.
Yeah, and Coach, I mean, we can show because you guys had Arizona plus 6.5. They were down 35-0. I reviewed the rules, Coach. You're very fortunate there's no point deduction for that debacle from your partner, Greg, as has been the case
should be
all
on the
year.
board.
I mean, I've read the rules 1,000 times, and it says you get paid if you win, and I'm still
You haven't gotten paid?
for the money from last
You haven't
season.
gotten paid?
So these rules seem like they might be a little flexible.
Pubs, he hasn't gotten paid?
Oh, my God.
That's so
We're
embarrassing.
processing it.
Cougar.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, on to the fairest segment on the show. Unlike Must Win, these rules are very clearly defined, and the winners get very clear awards for picking correctly, like I will do right now. So I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I like this pick.
Great
That's
pick,
not
Coach.
a bad pick.
And here's why, is they're very good on the road, which I like. The fact that Dalton Kincaid is out is an issue. He's second leading receiver for them, has scored the most receiving touchdowns, so that's problematic as well. And then Tampa has the killer instinct. We've heard about the killer instinct that they're going to try to capture, and Baker's going to be able to harness this week. And Buffalo feels a little bit like that animal that's out there in the forest, and they're hunting, and here comes Baker. and they're going to be able to maybe end it for him.
Coach, you've come full circle on Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
This
haven't.
week, you went from killing him for the killer instinct comments to now
well-
you're all bought in.
Well, I really need it for the upset alert. So, but I do feel strongly about Baker's character in terms of his ability to rally the team. I think that is a strength that he has as a leader, and I like that.
You're a Baker guy. You just thought he was a little rude to Todd Bowles.
Baker-esque.
Yeah, you're a Baker guy.
I got a
Baker
good
Jason.
one here.
Excellent.
I got
You
a good
need
one.
it, bro.
I need a big game hunting, so I went big game hunting. Tennessee over Houston. All right, here's why. Plenty of reasons. First of all, C.J. Stroud is out again.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Davis Mills. I think the Davis Mills magic is about to come to an end. That's what backups do. They got a few games. Even Mack, who's played well, he had those few games where he struggled, then he picked it up again. So I think that, and
It's
look,
Titans +6, by the way, because
Yeah.
we don't have the graphics for
Not
it. So
really
just,
that big game on
Yeah, well, it'd
well,
be a
that's all
9-pointer.
I think that was one of the
Picking the
biggest.
Titans
That might
is
be the
dangerous.
biggest. They're due. All right, they're due. I don't think they're gonna go 1-16. They are due for a win. Their first win of the season came after a 4-game losing streak. Guess what they're on?
A
A
four-
4-game
Nice.
losing streak.
I love
So,
that.
I
love those
There's
things.
not a lot of reasons to pick the Titans. Although, last week they played the Chargers tough. That game
Yeah.
was tough. 27-20
2 weeks ago.
loss.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was 17-17.
My upset alert.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that?
Yeah, I didn't,
Really?
I think I got a point.
I didn't
Yeah,
feel it
two
was
weeks
that
ago,
close.
you got
Okay.
one
we
point.
covered.
So they
Yeah.
played them tough.
27-20.
So look, strange things happen every Sunday in the NFL. This is going to be one of those.
Just
strange.
quickly, Coach, how you're talking about like Davis Mills and backup magic kind of wearing off. Is it fair for us to expect the game all of a sudden to slow down for Cam Ward? Like, can we see an improvement like we've seen in several rookie quarters? Like Jaden took off second half of the year.
Yes, so we should see the progress from rookies about midseason. There should suddenly be spurts
least
of
a little
growth
bit, yeah.
by those young guys because they're used to the coaching staff, they're used to the routine, they're used to practice. All those things that were so new, now they're part of the routine, and typically those guys take some nice leaps about midseason. With a coaching change, that could hurt a little bit just because of different things
Yeah.
that you're being asked to do.
But can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
I'm obviously not going to spoil your pick, but you're not going with the Giants. I'm surprised none of you guys went with. I know you wouldn't go with Jameis over the Packers, but I'm surprised that.
I would have, but I'm doing it out of protest.
Okay. okay. All right.
I
fair
absolutely
enough. I
would've
was gonna
taken
say
Jameis.
that's all right. You didn't want to do it because
No,
they fired
I
Davis.
don't hate that.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
was
like it.
shocked that wasn't your pick.
I
Not
like
that
it
you
a
don't have a
lot.
good pick.
I don't hate it. Maybe I should have paid more attention to it.
Jameis could easily produce.
You guys
Had
are
you
really
instead of
down
working
on
from
the
home, worked from here, you and I could have,
The
practiced
Packers
together.
are the gift that keeps on giving. How do you think we got so many points?
Coach
They're
has,
about to
yeah,
win.
they-
Cleveland and Carolina were huge.
I mean,
14
all of their
points and
Eagles
10
were underdogs.
all
So I
of
got
their
my
points has everybody's points have come from
against
fading the Packers.
The
Yes.
Packers aren't that good.
Packers are money.
You hear that, J-Lo? Make them pay.
Go ahead, Kato.
Make them pay.
First, a team that I am not picking on the bubble of upset alert. Browns. I'm just saying.
Just getting
Browns.
full of yourself with these.
Browns over Ravens. On the bubble. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
picking it.
Not picking it. We know because you haven't done your intro yet.
But
It's
that's
not
first.
official
That
until
was
you do
that's
your intro.
first one out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they took a shot.
Like
at the-
Joe Lunardi. It's like the
Yes.
NCAA
It's just a little
tournament.
They're
tease.
like,
First
the,
half,
the
first
Browns are
one
like
out.
this, and they're like, oh,
Okay.
unbelievable. We're going to the NIT. Time now for the Puxatawny Phil of football to make his upset alert. Why do I call you Puxatawny Phil of football? Covered in fur, live in a log, eat like this? No. It's just a coincidence.
That's funny.
I am going with Cincinnati over Pittsburgh. Wow.
We would love that.
Oh
Thought
my
about that.
goodness.
I thought long.
5.5.
about that.
What an upset.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
I literally saw it last month. I literally saw the same game last month, Cincinnati, total yards, 470 total yards. Pass, Flacco went for 328, had 6 20-yard plays. Do I think the Steelers' defense got that much better? Not really. Do I think Aaron Rodgers got that much better? No, I think Aaron Rodgers may have gotten worse.
Is his wife going to be at the game?
Most points per game since Flacco's Bengals return. It's Cincinnati's basically the best offense in the league. And I don't know if we saw, this was a Simmons take, is this the beginning of the Rodgers slide?
Maybe.
Is it just a blip, just, hey, one bad game? Or did Rodgers, who looked very old against the Chargers, all of a sudden
Old
start
guys
to...
mid-season, they
Old
go
guys,
the other way.
It's like the opposite of Cam Ward. Cam Ward going this way, Aaron Rodgers going that way. And finally, this is a gambling statistic. You would love this.
Okay.
Worst record when favored by more than 3 points since 2022.
The Steelers.
No.
Well, I mean, the Steelers got to be high up there.
Well, yeah, well, I'm doing
Yeah.
Steelers, so
Oh,
it's,
okay, yeah.
context clues, obviously.
Who do I think is the worst record when favored by more than 3 points?
You'd be shocked this team was ever even favored by more than 3 points.
Oh, well, then I'm not going to get it.
Raiders 2-4, Pittsburgh 3-5, the Titans 3-3, minimum 5 games. So, Bengals straight up over the Steelers.
I love it, Cato.
Well,
So
thanks.
take mine.
Wow.
Do I have to introduce this one? Time now for a segment that is
Struggle.
getting back,
It's struggling.
getting its footing
Listen,
under
guys,
itself.
I gotta point thumbs, not fingers. It's a bunch of 1 and 2 weeks. Gosh. It's a bunch of 1 and 2 weeks. 13 and 17.
The Patriots thing hurts.
I've
hurt me.
never
I
had a
told you that.
losing record doing this in the history
You're
of
the
this
Kansas
show.
City Chiefs of Nick's picks.
They have a winning record. And Coach, you had your moment. The Bucks pick was a bad pick. The Falcons pick was a great pick, should have won out, right? And the Steelers pick was just a bad pick. I need to go 3-0 just to be able to see 500. Luckily, you know what this week feels like?
It does really. I haven't even seen it.
It feels
like a 3-0 intro.
a lot like 3-0. We're starting with Danny's team. Chicago getting 3. I gotta be honest with you, I don't understand this. That starting that guy, J.J. McCarthy, happens to not be very good. He also is hurt. What did he hurt, Nick? His left heel? No, his right hand. He's a quarterback. He's got an injury to his right hand, and we saw this game in week 1. The Bears thoroughly outplayed them for 3 quarters, then melted down. They're a different team since then. I'm getting 3 points. I think the Bears can win outright. I'll take Chicago +3. Next one, Coach, taking your advice. Except I don't need him to win outright. I just need Bake Show to keep it close.
Love it.
Tampa +5.5. You didn't mention this, Coach, and maybe it works against you. I'm not sure. You guys know what I love checking the Doppler radar.
Of course.
The weather for these games. Ugly, gross Sunday afternoon in Buffalo. You know what that's good for? The underdog getting points. You might be like, oh, they're from Florida. Why would that be good for them? Because it depresses scoring, keeps games closer. It's not going to be 30-20 if the weather's bad. I think Bake Show can keep it close. I agree with Coach. I think they could win outright. I also think, more importantly, I'm getting 5.5 points.
I don't want to.
What's up?
I don't
No,
want to
interrupt. Interrupt.
Just because I pulled the ranks for this game, because I was flirting with this game as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rushing yards per game. Bills are first, 153. Bucks are 25th with under 100.
Yeah.
So if it's like a rushing game, I feel like the
I didn't
Bills
say
are-
it was a rushing game. I said ugly weather. I said low scoring. I think short, quick passes.
And Bake Show's used to playing in ugly weather for playing in Cleveland.
Exactly. Thank you, Coach.
was a
long
Everybody knows
Oh,
that.
he's used
to
And
it.
last but not least, one favorite. I don't love laying the hook,
Oh, yeah.
but the Chiefs are not going to let me down. And I've already bet this game in a lot of different places. I'm probably going to I'm going to just keep betting this game. A little on the money line, a little on the Chiefs -3.5, because they're the damn Kansas City Chiefs, and they're facing Bo Nix in a game that matters. And their coach of the other team hasn't stopped talking since he got to Denver, which everybody seems to love except me. Across all of sports, the one thing everyone in the media criticizes is talking without actually having accomplished anything. Sean Payton's been doing it for 3 years in Denver. People are like, oh, Sean Payton. I had a Heineken with him 2 years ago. The guy's unbelievable. Give me a break. Chiefs -3.5. Chicago +3. Tampa +5.5. Kansas City -3.5. That just smells like a 3-0 weekend. Caleb, Baker, Mahomes, my best weekend of the year. I went with 3 quarterbacks I believed in. I'm doing it again.
We are in for a spectacular show on Monday. If the Chiefs lose, are at 500, and you lost a ton of money.
Yeah, I don't want Nick to lose a ton of money.
But if they win,
Oh, my God.
they're headed back to the top of the AFC West, and this guy comes in with another watch. Either way,
He's buying a big lunch for everybody.
the show wins. Oh, there'll be Chick-fil-A all over.
Everywhere.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.